Two drones, same family name, completely different missions. One of them flips a camera open and swallows the entire sky in a single shot. The other keeps its lens pointed dead ahead and begs you to fly harder, faster, tighter. On paper, people keep calling this an upgrade. In practice, it isn't, and by the end of this, you'll know which one actually fits the way you create. Stick with me, because there's one spec most comparison videos quietly skip over, and it changes the answer for a surprising number of pilots. Let's get into it. The DJI Avata line earned its reputation by making FPV flying approachable. No soldering, no tuning, no 6-month learning curve, just goggles on and go. The DJI Avata 2 doubled down on that promise with a bigger sensor, safer sensing, and a cleaner camera. Then DJI did something unexpected. They launched the DJI Avata 360, and instead of just bumping numbers, they rebuilt what this drone is for. Full spherical capture from the air, reframe anywhere footage, a second personality tucked into the same Cinewhoop body. So the real question isn't which drone is newer, it's which one matches the work you actually want to make. And the answer isn't as obvious as the spec sheet suggests. Start with identity, because everything else flows from it. The DJI Avata 360 is a hybrid. Pop out the rotating camera module and it captures the whole sphere around the drone. Flip it the other way and it behaves like a regular forward-facing FPV drone. Two tools, one airframe. The DJI Avata 2 doesn't play that game. It's a focused FPV machine with one clear job: put you inside the shot, low to the ground, ripping through gaps most drones wouldn't dare. That difference isn't marketing. It shapes the sensors, the camera design, the way you edit, and even how you fly. Which brings us to the spec most people lead with, and honestly, the one that's most misleading on its own. On paper, the DJI Avata 360 looks like a blowout. It reportedly records up to 8K at 60 frames per second in full 360 mode and 4K at 60 frames per second when you switch to standard shooting. The DJI Avata 2 tops out at 4K 60, but it fights back with 4K at 100 frames per second. Genuine slow motion that the 360 doesn't offer in the same way. That matters more than it sounds. Slow-mo is where FPV footage earns its drama. For storage, the Avata 2 holds a slight edge in onboard space, while the Avata 360 accepts larger micro SD cards, reportedly up to 1 terabyte, which you'll need once 8K 360 files start stacking up. Higher numbers aren't always better, they're just bigger. Here's where design steps in to tell you what each drone is really built for. Both drones keep the full propeller guard that made this line safe for indoor rips and tight reveals. That part is familiar. Beyond the shell, the split is sharp. The DJI Avata 360 has a rotating camera system that swaps between dual lens 360 capture and a single forward view. The DJI Avata 2 stays fixed, simple, no moving parts up front. Sensing is the bigger gap. The Avata 360 reportedly adds LiDAR and omnidirectional obstacle detection. Awareness in every direction, not just where the camera points. The Avata 2 uses a more basic setup, which is lighter and quicker to trust, but less forgiving near clutter. Size-wise, the Avata 2 is the more compact flyer overall, while the 360 trims its profile in certain spots to stay nimble. Now here's where the creative story really separates, and it's the part that'll decide this for a lot of you. This is the DJI Avata 360's main argument. Dual 1/1.1 inch sensors, full 360 capture, HDR support, stronger low light performance, and stills reportedly up to 120 megapixels. But the headline trick is the invisible drone. The software stitches the two lenses and erases the aircraft from the frame. So your footage looks like it's floating through space with no pilot attached. Pair that with reframing in post, and a single flight turns into multiple usable angles. The DJI Avata 2 keeps things grounded with a single 1/1.3-inch sensor. Dependable 4K, that 4K 100 frames per second slow-mo, and 12 megapixel stills. Simpler pipeline, faster edits. The 360 also adds a wider field of view, higher bitrate, and raw stills. The Avata 2 wins one quiet round though. It supports ND filters. The 360 reportedly doesn't. For outdoor cinematography in bright light, that's a bigger deal than it sounds, and it leads straight into how these drones actually feel in the air. Both drones fly well. They just reward different pilot. The DJI Avata 360 is tuned for versatility, slightly quicker in normal and sport mode, with features like subject tracking and head tracking that lean into automated shooting. The DJI Avata 2 is the pilot's drone. Full manual mode, higher top speeds, the tight stick, feel experienced FPV flyers chase. Flight time sits around 23 minutes on both, based on current info, and wind handling is comparable. The 360 reportedly uses a newer transmission system, which may push better range and more stable signal when you're pushing out. Here's the honest take. If you fly to capture, the 360 is built for you. If you fly because flying is the point, the Avata 2 still has the edge, which sets up the control question. And this is where one of these quietly frustrates new pilots. Both support the usual DJI control options: motion controller, standard twin-stick remote, goggles for the full immersive view. The DJI Avata 360 stretches further. You can fly it like a traditional drone without goggles, or go full FPV when you want the rush. Great on paper. The catch: some of its best features, especially around 360 capture and reframing, are tied to specific control setups. That means more to learn and more to think about before takeoff. The DJI Avata 2 doesn't ask those questions. One flow, one feel, one quick path from powered onto shooting. For anyone new to FPV, that simplicity isn't a weakness. It's the whole reason this line exists. Now let's talk money, because this is where people start second guessing. Pricing moves around by bundle, but the pattern is clear. The DJI Avata 360 sits at a higher price point, reflecting the dual sensor system, rotating camera, and advanced sensing. The DJI Avata 2 lands cheaper across the board and even offers a drone-only option for pilots who already own compatible goggles and controllers. That's a real entry point for people stepping into FPV without dropping a full kit's worth upfront. The question isn't whether the 360 is worth its price. It's whether the 360 features fit how you actually create. If you'll never cut a reframed 360 shot, you're paying for a tool you won't use. If you will, the math flips fast. Which takes us to the part people actually came for. This isn't a better or worse call, it's a style call. The DJI Avata 360 is a creative sandbox. If you want the invisible drone look, reframe anywhere flexibility, more sensing, and one airframe that covers two jobs, it earns the premium. The DJI Avata 2 is a craft tool. Lighter workflow, tighter manual control, genuine slow motion, ND filter support, and a lower barrier to entry. For a lot of pilots, that's not a compromise. That's the point. Pick the 360 if you're chasing storytelling angles you can't get any other way. Pick the Avata 2 if you want to fly, shoot, cut, and post without fighting your footage. Both are strong. Neither is wrong. The only wrong move is buying the one that doesn't match how you actually create. So, which way are you leaning? The all-in-one creative reach of the DJI Avata 360 or the focused, pilot-first feel of the DJI Avata 2? Drop your pick in the comments and tell me what you'd shoot with it first. If this helped you cut through the spec sheet noise, smash that like, subscribe so you don't miss the next breakdown, and hit the bell while you're there. Next up, I'm digging into a quieter DJ, detail that most reviewers haven't touched yet, and it might change how you think about upgrading altogether. See you in that one.